On Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, M.D., Director of the Courtney Medical Group, located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray, Pennsylvania. For more information or to make an appointment, call 724-942-3002. That's 724-942-3002 for Dennis J. Courtney, M.D.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to AIM Impact on Your Health. AIM Impact on Your Health, where every day our goal is to have you learn at least one thing to help you live better and longer. AIM Impact on Your Health, heard every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney, and I'm with you each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. AIM Impact on Your Health, where each day you'll find current medical news, knowledgeable guests, fascinating health topics, and of course, where we do encourage you to call in to join in. Today, in keeping with some continuity, and as promised, as we really capped off a great show with you on Wednesday, we brought Pittsburghers in Western Pennsylvania to come to know a company called Ciara, and keep using the word product, but just an amazing way of treating three conditions at the present time, whether that be pain, assisting in sleep, or helping to generate energy in people that just don't seem to have it. The use of, here's the term, transparent holographic chip is the term used to describe what this company brings to you. We have an expert that we're bringing back. We're going to call it for part 2 today, talking about how you place these chips, where you put them, because I'm always mindful of those who want to be able to do. My listeners are so intelligent, they can do this on their own, and with a little bit of instruction today from Dr. David Potts, you'll be able to do just that. I tell you that we'll be with David Potts right after the first break today, and we'll go over some initial material that would be for those who maybe weren't with us on Wednesday, so we'll bring you up to speed too. But a transparent holographic chip is what we've come to in the way of a really unique way of treating those problems. So look, in the course of our discussion, I'm going to try to leave a lot of time today for these phone calls. We were barraged with them right at the end of our show on Wednesday, but as we get about halfway through the show today, I'm going to be looking to allowing you folks to give us a call and find out what you want to ask about transparent holographic chips. The number, of course, is always 412-825-6262, 412-825-6262. By the way, I should mention at this point, too, if you are coming to my office to see me for any reason whatsoever, I guarantee you that if you have any one of those three above problems, I'll place a holographic chip in the right area for you and allow you to determine whether you get benefited from it for free. We're just going to put them on you and let you give us the feedback. If you have a mind to do this at home, pay attention to the website, which I would barrage with calls telling me, hey, we can't find your website with respect to these chips. I guarantee you it's there. You must be dialing up wrong. The website address is www.Dr. Courtney. Now, Dr. Courtney is going to have to be spelled D-R, not D-O-C-T-O-R. Dr. Courtney, C-O-U-R-T-N-E-Y, Ciara, C-I-E-A-U-R-A.com. That's it. Once again, www.Dr. with the D-R, Dr. Courtney, C-O-U-R-T-N-E-Y, Ciara, C-I-E-A-U-R-A.com. You can go to that website now. You can start reading as a little primer before we bring Dr. David Potts back on with us. And enough said about this for the moment. Let's see. Calendar items we want to go over. So starting on Monday now, we got a barrage of guests coming at you. On Monday, Doug Inglesby will be with us. He's been with us before. He's very much enlightened on nutritional ways of correcting conventional problems. He's going to be talking about nutritional steps for beating stress. He calls that the silent killer. He's probably absolutely right about it. That's on Monday. Then we were able to finally reschedule the crazy thing that happened here when I walked in back in a couple weeks ago, to find no power in my building, and I had to cancel Cass Ingram. You all enjoy Cass Ingram. He's the king of oregano. He's written countless number of books on it. He's going to be with us on Wednesday. That's when we scheduled him, talking about the original topic he was scheduled for when he was so rudely and abruptly interrupted. That's called A Fungus Among Us, and that's going to be next Wednesday here, the 10th of February. I've mentioned that Dr. Ed, Mr. Dr. Ed, is going to be coming back to town. Homeboy made good out now in Phoenix, Arizona. Certainly one of the only, if not the only, homeopathic board-certified ophthalmologist that you're ever going to find. He comes back to Pittsburgh now twice a year. Just going to be 3 times this year because you all just barraged him with requesting that he treat you, and he's got a limit of 12 in every one of these seminars that he comes with. He's going to be talking to you personally about that seminar on the 22nd. He comes to town on March 21st. You can already circle that date on your calendar for the free seminar that he'll be holding. Actually, I don't know what hotel, excuse me, I don't know what hotel he's going to be offering that. It may be the same Marriott out by the airport, but don't hold me to that because I actually don't know. Then way up there at the beginning of the month of March, we're going to bring back with us just a guy who wrote a tremendous book. I'm really pleased. I think this would be a 4th or 5th time back on the show. Raymond Francis, and he's written a new book on cancer approaches in his new book, and we're going to be talking to Raymond come the 3rd of March. So the rest of the month of February will fill up. You can see we're already loading up in the month of March, and we are excited about what we're able to bring to you folks. I'm glad that you're paying attention and listening today, and keep on listening, and of course keep on learning right along with me. I'll allow you to teach me, as you've done so much teaching to me and for me already, as well as maybe sharing it and allowing some of that education to go your way from me. We have a little relationship that way. You give to me, I give to you, and that's how listening goes. Okay, what else I'll mention? Oh, Fruit of the Spirit. Be paying attention today. Remember that severely discounted, I mean it really is discounted, 14 biblical fruit purees that are available in just a wonderful fruit purees. It sounds tasty, doesn't it? Well, man, you wouldn't even know what it tastes like until you actually try a taste of that stuff. That's the big grape. It tastes so good, I keep nipping at it in the refrigerator, and the bottle's not lasting a full month, and we go, what a terrible problem to have. Used to be $39, now $29, and I believe staying there, we're going to get either Deborah or Deanna or Dr. Peterson or a new doctor, Dr. Young, who's utilized this in his practice down in the Tampa Bay area on, I promise you, in the month of February, because we've got a lot of open dates. I did get, because I had a question brought to me here on the show about the minerals. They claim that besides those 14 fruit purees, there are alkalinized minerals from the Dead Sea, and the label, which I have in front of me, only spells out 2 of those minerals. It talks about the amount of potassium, 35 milligrams, the amount of sodium, 130 milligrams. No other minerals are spelled out. I believe we can get that information from Dr. Peterson, and I promise to be able to do it. So if you want to order that, pay attention. When we go to commercial break, Deborah will be giving you that 800 number so you can order it up special. What else here do we have? I don't want to postpone the excitement anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a short break. In the interim, I'm going to hunt down Dr. David Potts, who's in transit between Houston and Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It's going to allow us to invade his trip and talk about this miraculous chip called a holographic chip made by the company Sierra. Part 2, where to put them, how to place them, what you can expect when you do, as we move to discuss this today. Be back in a moment.
Honey, just got the word. The company's new health plan has a $5,000 deductible. We have to make sure nobody gets sick this year. Remember what those doctor's visits cost for last year's colds and flu? Well, sorry, I gotta go.
can cut the fast food lunches. Soda, that's a lot of sugar. We could all take that evening walk. And hey, I heard a program about fruit. Fruit of the Spirit. What did they say? 1 ounce, the equivalent of 5 servings of fruits with herbs and minerals. We could add some to our breakfast protein shakes. Fruit of the Spirit is a unique whole fruit puree. Fruit of the Spirit contains fresh fruits native to the Holy Land and alkalizing minerals from the Dead Sea. With no added sugars, Fruit of the Spirit is a unique product from 5 years of work from science-based nutritional experts. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, convenient, affordable, and delicious. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Let me think about it before I say yes to doing that.
Okay. Is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. Heard here on KHB 620 each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9 o'clock. I'm Dr. Dennis Courtney with you live and alive, as I like to say, here on KHB, here on this Friday. Get 'em up out of town version of our show, as we normally like to phrase our Fridays. Interesting Friday as this will be. We're going to be barraged with snow before the day is up. But as we should be, we're in the month of February. We're going to get to our featured guest today because I know you are excited. I can tell by the way my phone rang off the hook here in the office the last couple of days talking about this company called Ciara and something called a transparent holographic chip. An expert on that chip was with us on Wednesday to introduce the concept to us. He's back with us today for what we'll call part 2. We'll rehash some things that allow those listeners who weren't with us Wednesday to understand what the heck we're talking about. Then we'll sort of get right into some new stuff. And then we'll close allowing you to ask questions, which you had so many of as we reached the conclusion of our show the other day. Our expert guest is Dr. David Potts. He is a chiropractor who now does exclusively work with these chips, moving around the country to do so. In fact, I believe he's on his way now to Louisiana to do just that. He's spending some time with us this morning. Let's say good morning and welcome back, Dr. Potts.
Good morning. Great to be with you guys.
I'm glad you're back with us, Dr. Potts. I will tell you that you caused some major uproar in my office with your description of these chips as we launched the whole concept of what a holographic chip was the other day. It's a new concept being brought to our area. We were really pleased to be part of that new launching. I've already said that we may be launching it today, but within a year, this is going to be on every street corner. You're going to find this approach to treating these problems to be so unique that everybody's going to want to be involved in. That's just going to be a fun time for you and me and everybody, will it not?
Oh, it is. It's going to be great fun. It's, to have the ability to have this kind of effect on people with a natural product is going to be just mind-boggling. All right, for those who may be listening today and wonder, what the heck is he talking about, holographic chip, and I don't understand that. Let's see if we can just spend a few minutes to try to recap what we really got into well, and I really enjoyed doing that show with you on Wednesday to introduce this concept. Could you please, I'll allow you to take a few minutes to, in the only way that I'm sure you could, describe what this company is, what these chips are, and what the problems are that they're used to help alleviate the symptoms of, so that we can bring our listeners up to speed, every one of them. It's a holographic chip, so it's a 21st century delivery system of science that's over 4,000 years. So what we're talking about is we're talking about something that has the ability to communicate with the cells of the body. So the cells are the building blocks, of the body. I mean, it's taking it down to the lowest level. So what happens with this is that when the body gets out of sync, so when these cells get out of sync, either to something externally happening to us or something going on internally, that when they're out of sync, then we start having symptoms, and it starts setting us up for a disease process. What these cells are what these chips are able to do is communicate with the cells of the body to pull them back into sync, and then that's when when you have healthy cells, then you have a healthy body, and that's the process that occurs with these, and that's what makes it so great, that it's non-transdermal, meaning that nothing enters into the system other than this communication with the cells of the body.
Now, you could hardly ignore, because it really has intrigued me to see the relationship between these holographic chips and the ancient art of practicing Eastern forms of medicine that involve acupuncture. Spend a moment, if you would, on that correlation between what the acupuncturists do, and an art form that takes years of sophistication in order to be able to perform, and the way that these chips perform in a similar fashion, but don't require such study and such art.
Hey, here's what we do know. We do know that the different organs of the body, the different cells of the body, operate at different frequencies, and so it's a matter of moving energy throughout the body. So when we look at acupuncture, we look at the meridians. So there's 14 meridians of the body. You have 12 on one side, 12 that mirror that on the other side, and then you have 2 that are in the midline. So these are, for no other better term, kind of the pathways that energy is moved throughout the body. And the places where these meridians come up closest to the skin, that's the acupuncture site. So that's the site that acupuncturists use to place the needles. Now, with needle placement, you have to be very specific with where you place the needle. And they're very specific into different placements work different things on different parts of the body. With this holographic chip, because what's programmed in, the intrinsic formulas that are programmed into this communicate with the cells of the body. Now, we use acupuncture sites because we want to get as close as we can to those meridians at the skin level, but it does not require the specific placement that is required with acupuncture.
Yeah, I think that I read somewhere that the accuracy is so finite with respect to the art of acupuncture that literally when you place those needles in the proper points, you only have a millimeter or 2 of forgiveness in terms of where that needle gets placed. That's why the art form takes so many years to develop the level of expertise and experience to have the practitioner be very successful in a high percentage of the time. Here, if I remember listening to you correctly, there is a sort of a, is it 2 square inch area around an acupuncture site where these holographic chips, because they're impregnated with such energy and the programs are so vast that they don't require that pinpoint accuracy, as you said before, and there is a forgiveness zone that allows even the unskilled to be quite adept at placing these chips.
And that's very important. I mean, that's very important that we have a product that we can take and administer to ourselves. So I mean, each one of these chips has a life of 2 to 3 days. So you're going to be changing that chip out on yourself. So this doesn't require you to go see a physician or go to a specialty shop. It's just a matter of you then, taking the next chip and placing it in that same location. And that's the convenience factor of this that is what's so incredible.
Now, in terms of what these chips are used for, at the present time, and I understand this company, which is rapidly upward mobile, all those words apply, may come out very soon with additional things that we could use these chips for, they could be programmed for. But right now, there are 3, literally, a set of symptom conditions that these chips can be used for. You want to talk about those 3 with us for a moment?
I do. The first one I talk about is the Pure Energy product, and it's actually called Pure Energy Plus. Now, this product is used to kind of balance out the energy of the body, and it's utilized to help you get through the day, to not have that crash or that crater in the daytime. So, we're a society that really needs that push, and we were consuming a lot of caffeinated products, a lot of these energy drinks, and this allows you naturally to get through that. But it's the plus part of this one that I really like. This one also helps you a lot with mental clarity, mental focus. But what we're finding is that when you balance out the energy of the body, so when we balance out the energy with this product, people get some other incredible results. So I mean, we've had some people with ADD and ADHD that have responded very positively to this product and have been able to get off their medications. We have a lot of other conditions that the product's not set out to do, but what we do know is that the body has the ability to do some amazing things when it's given the opportunity. The other product we have is one called Rest Quiet, and this product allows you to doesn't make you sleepy like a over-the-counter or even a prescribed medication does, but it puts you into a state that is easier to go to sleep. But more importantly, it gets you into the delta, theta, and REM sleep, which is the more restful and the reparative state of sleep. And I was talking to somebody this morning. I use this product, and I use this product every night, and it seems like the night just goes so fast. It's almost like I'm at a movie theater just watching one movie after the other with the dreams that I have. The last product that they currently have is called Pure Relief, and that's exactly what it is. It's a pain relief product that when it's placed over the side of the pain, or in some cases we move it between the pain and the spinal cord, or between the pain and the brain, that it has the ability to reduce or totally eliminate pain. Now, what I love about all three of these products is the fact that they work as effective as they do, and they work extremely fast. So we have a natural product that in many cases is working as fast as the medications that we've seen with prescriptions, and in some cases faster.
That thing about fast is what initially, when I started applying these chips, and I've referred to us, you and I, as chippers, right? Because that's a fair way of describing what the heck we do. We place these things, but the speed with which, and the case I mentioned the other day was with a pain problem, how rapidly, it was within the minute of applying them. So rapid was it that I questioned. I literally, my mind said, what is this, autosuggestibility? Am I dealing with a patient that's not stable enough to be able to interpret pain correctly? And what I'm learning is, no, it's actually, these patients were quite accurate in describing it was there a moment ago and now it's gone, and the word gone, I think, is what I want to underline. The speed with which this can work, although it doesn't have to work as quickly as that, but when it does work that quickly, you just go, my goodness gracious, what a wonderful tool this is. Agreed, Doctor?
Go ahead, Doc.
Yeah, just I'll add one more testimonial, because I haven't been doing this as long as you have, and that's one of the reasons why we consider you an expert. But with respect to the Rest Quiet, a gentleman who I had given a chip to be able to place in the proper place whenever he was going to sleep, I asked him, I hadn't seen him for a week, and I asked him how that went, and he said, well, at first I really didn't quite know how that went until last night when I didn't put the chip on, and I'll now tell you, I didn't sleep at all last night, and what it told me was those chips really did help me for the 2 or 3 or 4 days that I did place it. So, once again, a testimonial live out of my office that just lends and adds credence to what you already expect, having done these on so many patients for so long, that I just thought I'd put my 2 cents worth in, Doc, and probably it mirrors what you've seen over the hundreds of cases to maybe not even thousands that you've been exposed to up to this point. Fair enough?
Very fair. Okay.
Now, we got listeners out there, and my listeners are some of the most intelligent people going, and many of them I've never even met. I hear their voices, and I know who they are. They can handle something like this easily on their own if they're instructed properly. So what I asked you to do today, and what we're going to call part 2, is to accurately describe for those listeners here where these chips get placed, so that if they had a mind to, they could go to the website, and the website is www.drcourtney.ciaura.com. www.drcourtney.ciaura.com. And they can actually order these without ever having to come into my office to get them. And if they were to do so, could you instruct them in these 3 different chips where you've learned that they are the most adept at being able to rapidly assist the patient to get a response? Could you do that for us?
Yes, I will. The great thing about the products is when you order the packages, there are instructions in there about chip placement. But here's a general placement on it. With the sleep product, we either place it on either temple region, or we put it on the inside of the left ankle, between the ball of the ankle and the heel, where you have the little sulcus area there. So you can choose either one of those 3 locations. Some people start off with using 2. That's up to your personal preference as to which works for you. With the energy product, we place it over either about an inch under either clavicle, I don't want to say mid-clavicle, maybe a little closer to the sternum, but about an inch under the clavicle. You can place it on your wrist. You can place it on your trap region. Some people place it mid-sternum, and some people place it a couple inches below the navel region. So there are multiple places to put the energy chip, and there are sites that come in the packaging. You can also go onto the website, and it may have some additional sites that may work for you. The pain product is the one that gets more specific into how to use the pain product. Now, with all 3 products, we talk about, to get the maximum effectiveness out of it, there's 3 components. One is hydration. It's very, very important, because we're working at a cellular level that we stay hydrated, because that's the mediator cells that allow it to go from one cell to the next. So hydration is very important. When we say hydrated, we mean water. So iced tea, coffee, alcoholic beverages are products that typically dehydrate you. So if you consume those, you'll need to consume extra water. The other thing is placement. We typically place the pain product over the side of the pain. What I like to say is imagine that there's a 4-inch box around that side, and you move that pain chip about an inch over every hour inside that box until you find the location that works best for you. So sometimes just a matter of moving that over 1 inch maximizes the effectiveness of the pain product.
So you just move it around. If you weren't really pleased with the response, you move it in with a 4 square inch block. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, and that's what we start with. Now, some people, if you're talking about a large area, some people in the back region may need a second product. Some people in the back region may put 2 there, and then maybe come up the spine a little bit and place an additional 1. Now, I typically start off with the least amount. I typically start with 1 chip. Only if I'm not getting the effectiveness that I'm looking for will I then add the second or the third chip. Typically speaking, most people get by with a single chip on the body regions. Now, the last is to give it duration, okay, to give it enough time to work. For many people, as you've seen and as I've witnessed, get results within minutes. Some people get results within hours. There are those who take several days to get the desired results. But just remember, the product does work. So give it an opportunity to work and play around with it and move it until you get those maximum effects.
So the 3 variables: hydration, placement, and duration. These are the 3 things that you, as the patient, the individual who really has a symptom and trying to get relief from it, can assist in making with more surety that you're going to get the response. And the duration component, how frequently do you find that and break this down in percentages, if you could, that people respond in an instant fashion, which literally I guess I'm going to have to say in a couple of minutes. Some maybe require hours. Some require days. How, in your experience, which is vast, how does it break out for you? The response.
You know, it's kind of funny. I would say that if we use say less than 15 minutes as kind of an immediate response, because
which is bizarre, by the way. Which is bizarre.
Yeah, that would be an immediate response with any medication. I would say that probably 30 or 40% of my people personally fall into that category.
Of immediate, within 15 minutes.
Within 15 minutes. If we break it into an hour, I mean, you probably add another 20 or 30%, and then there, you know, the ones that take a day or take 2 or 3 days, you know, may make up another 20% or so. So I mean, I'm not good with math, but I mean, I get about 80-85%, you know, total at this point, and I think that if people go ahead and realize that there are different responses and give it the opportunity and move it around, that I think we can get that number up higher than 85%. So I mean, better than 2/3 of them give response within an hour or two.
It's pretty significant numbers if you can say up to 85% responders, and maybe 15% just ultimately don't. And maybe it could be that if you play with the variables that of hydration, placement, and duration, that number can get a little higher, and then you haven't had a chance to get the full potential responses. Which, but at 85%, my goodness, that's a wonderful response. I don't know really anything else that, short of anesthesia, that'll work that quickly on everybody and be able to get such a response. A couple additional questions I'll ask because they've come to my mind and they have been asked of me by others. These chips, which I describe as like what my kids used to get in their butt, but they're transparent. They come on a sheet, and they have an adhesive side, which is the side that actually comes in contact with the skin. Does this adhesive side does it stick well, and can it be assisted to remain in place with, let's say, can it be taped in place? Describe for me. And by the way, when you talk about using a chip over and over again, or don't you? Do you say once you put it there, you leave it there? Talk to me a bit about that component because it's been unclear.
You know, the product has adhesive on it, and so anytime you make one product for everybody, you know, different adhesives stick to people differently, and we probably don't want to put something with a strong adhesive on somebody who's elderly who has thin skin. So the fact of the matter is we're talking about a product that does not even actually have to touch the skin. So, I mean, you can get the effectiveness of it being within 2 inches of the skin. So, but when we do place it on the skin, the adhesive will hold it there in most people's cases. There are some people who need the assistance of a Band-Aid or a piece of tape to hold it. You can leave the product there. The sleep product we remove in the morning time and you put it back in the evening time.
Okay, so you do take that one off in the morning. It's on the temples anyway. It looked a little funny if you were out. People wondering what the heck's wrong with that guy. But so you do take that one off, huh?
You do take that one off. That one comes off in the morning time. I typically just place it either on the corner of the mirror or put it on the edge of the nightstand. And then when I go back to sleep that night, I put it back on. Now, I use my sleep product 3 days, sometimes 4 days, and so typically by the third or fourth day, the adhesiveness is getting a little worn. So I mean, I may place it on with a piece of tape. So here's the nice thing about these products: you can leave them on. Okay, you can shower with them. You can do anything that you want to do with them. If they fall off within that 3-day period, you can put them back on. Put a Band-Aid back over the top of it and place it on your skin again. So it's perfectly safe to do anything you want, and it's perfectly safe to adhere it to your skin in any manner that works for you.
Outstanding. I'm glad I asked that question. Folks, you may have questions of your own that they're brewing in your own mind out there. Why don't you think about giving us a call today? We got Dr. David Potts with us for the remainder of the hour. 412-825-6262. We'll get you on in here and give you the ability to ask Dr. Potts directly what your query may be. 825-6262. Why don't we do this? Why don't we take a short break? And in the interim, maybe a couple of you would feel that you'd like to give us a call to ask those questions, and we'll be back with Dr. David Potts in a moment.
Doctor lately? Was fatigue top of your complaint list? Even if your doctor asked you what you eat, the recommended 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day is a dream in your busy schedule. What if you learned of a product 5 years in the formulation that delivers 5 servings of fruits and minerals in just 1 ounce? That's right, it's Fruit of the Spirit. The blessings of Fruit of the Spirit are now formulated into a delicious whole fruit puree product rich in antioxidants and minerals. Your health is more than just a test result. It's a balance of physical, spiritual, and emotional factors. You work regularly to strengthen your faith. Let Fruit of the Spirit help cover your nutritional needs in a convenient and cost-effective ounce a day. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. Fruit of the Spirit, 5 servings of fruits and minerals with no added sugars. That's 1-800-442-3793 for your good health. Call them now, 1-800-442-3793.
This is Dennis J. Courtney, MD. Have you become confused about how best to manage your health? It's no wonder. It seems that every time you turn on the television or radio, another expert has yet another suggestion for you to follow that seems to be reasonable enough, but no matter how dutifully you follow the instruction, it just doesn't quite produce the results that you are looking for. If this confusion sounds familiar to you, give us a call at the Center for Complementary Health, where we'll make some sense of the confusion based on a blending of traditional and alternative medicine that we've been perfecting over the last 7 years. We offer metabolic nutrition testing, immune system repair, natural hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, cutting-edge allergy correction, and a host of other safe and effective alternative therapies.
Dennis J. Courtney, MD, is located at 3075 Washington Road in McMurray. Phone 724-942-3002.
Yeah, I should have. Well, I should have. Should have plugged in a regular.
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health here on KHB 620 and heard each and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 8 to 9. We're here on this Friday. Get 'em up out of town, the snowy version of the show. At least before the day is up, we're going to see quite a bit of it. But we're with a good friend of ours, an expert in the use of what we've now launched and introduced to Western Pennsylvania called holographic chips. They are brand new. You'll probably not have heard from them about them from any other source up till now, but in the near future, I think you'll be hearing from quite a few practitioners and non-practitioners, because this is allowed to be placed in the hands of the unskilled and the untrained and still get wonderful results. We're learning about how to do just that with our expert, Dr. David Potts, today, who's allowed us to invade his morning and his trip to Baton Rouge, where we are discussing the placement of these chips. Dr. David Potts, you still with us, my friend?
Still with you.
Okay. We've discussed now where you put them, how much time you can expect to take to see responses, the fact that the individual utilizing these by virtue of hydration, placement, and duration can literally control the effectiveness of these. We should probably mention, as we did the other day, the issue of, I think, of a fair disclaimer, because the symptoms of, lack of energy, difficulty in sleep, or pain problems can be indicative of a whole host of medical issues going on. And in no case, I think we would want to convey to our listeners, is the use of this chip considered to be a cure or a way to actually correct a deep-seated organic issue. It's dealing with symptoms. You want to pick up on that just a bit so we can feel clear once again on what we're trying to bring to patients who are listening out there?
Yeah, I mean, this product absolutely does not take the place of you consulting your physician when you have problems ongoing. The product does not heal, cure, diagnose, any illnesses or diseases, and we're very clear about that. Now, with that said, very often we go to our medicine cabinet because we have a headache or we have we have an injury that we would typically treat with over-the-counter medications, and you can feel safe in going and placing that for this. Now, if you have a product, if you have a condition that you're being treated by the physician, and they have you on a Vicodin product or they have you on a sleep aid or something, and so they've ruled out anything going on that's serious that needs additional testing, but they're just treating you with a medication.
Would treat symptoms alone.
Would treat symptoms alone, yes. And so it's just another alternative, another way to treat symptoms, but it's not going to cure.
Very good. Now, talking about pain problems in particular, because I'm guessing that a whole host of listeners of us today are saying, hey, I got this pain, and Lord knows they may have a diagnosis for that pain. They just may have chronic pain over a 5, 10, 15-year period, and they look for some relief each and every day. Talk to us about the myriad of ways that the pain can present to us, but pain into itself is a symptom, and they can expect to get relief through such a product called a holographic chip.
It's an amazing thing. We talk about this being new, and it is new to the general public, and I've been involved with the company for 7 months, but there's nearly 6 years of research and development, and professional athletes have been using this for the last 3.5 years. So it is a product that is tried and had some incredible results. But in the 7 months that I've been involved, the thing that excites me the most about it is that it does not really matter the cause of the pain, that it seems to be a universal way of addressing that issue. So in that time, I've seen people with gout, I've seen people with headaches, earaches, toothaches. I've seen people who have, kidney disease that gives them symptoms. Now, they're still getting treated for the kidney disease, but now they have a safer alternative of a way to try to treat the symptoms associated with it. We have some people that have had natural childbirth and used it during natural childbirth with some good results. I have some people that have cancer, and so they've chose to combat the pain associated with the cancer with the product. So, these are some crazy stories, but when you think about that this is a product that operates on a cellular level, and the cells do not recognize what the source of the pain was. It just recognizes that it has pain. So that makes this a universal product for people who have pain issues.
Absolutely great way to explain it, Doc. And we have the doctor here with about 15 more minutes. If you want to call and ask a question, 412-825-6262. We'll be happy to entertain your call and put the question directly to the doctor, 412-825-6262. Now, Doc, I wanted to, because you've just triggered me to ask a question when it came to, I'm looking at a lot of the literature that comes from Ciara, and I keep seeing NFL, NBA, and there must be, I don't know, do you listen to these conference calls whenever representatives from these organizations are on? Because I have it, and I'm sort of interested when I see a reference to the NFL or the NBA. What does that mean? Does that mean that there are individual participants in those leagues that actually are giving testimonials? Because talk about people who have a predisposition to get injured and have pain and play with their pain. NFL comes to mind as one of the number ones.
Well, there are. We have major league players that are currently utilizing the product. It's kind of funny. They kind of talk about it a little bit, but then they don't want to give their competitive edge up to the others. But we do have. Ray Lewis, Baltimore Ravens, utilizes the product. Johnny Damon, New York Yankees. There's a host of other professional athletes, NBA, NFL, PGA. So in all the realms of the sports, there are people utilizing the product and having great results with it. Now we do have, we have some names I can throw out there that that are retailers of the product, and they got involved because of the great success that they had with the product personally. And two of those are Elvin Hayes, who's the 6th all-time scorer in the NBA and in the Hall of Fame, and Rudy Tomjanovich. Both of those I've spent a fair amount of time with and heard their stories as to the results that they've had with this product. And so we're seeing that a lot in ex-athletes. We're seeing that a lot in current athletes. And we're seeing that a lot in just the everyday person who's having symptoms.
I always love to hear when I hear a name that I can associate with and know that there's a credibility issue that sort of allows me to feel good about the fact that there's one of those players that, or a number of the ones you just mentioned, that I actually do know and hear they bespeak well of this product. In fact, so much so, they became involved with the company, and I guess that's why you've been in such close contact with them, huh?
It is, and they're quite a joy to listen to their personal testimonials, because both of them were dealing with some chronic issues that they'd had for years. Both of them were looking at some surgeries, some significant surgeries that were needing to occur. And they may still have to have those surgeries at some point, but at least the symptoms now are allowing them to continue on. And in their cases, both of them have become a lot more athletic. I even heard Elvin Hayes said that he played a basketball game, little pickup game the other day, and he hadn't done that for a number of years.
Interesting. Very interesting. Folks, we're saying we've got the doctor with us. He's got the answers. 412-825-6262. You got the questions. Give us a call. We do have a caller out there who's knocking on the door. Come on in the store. You are with Dr. Potts. Go right ahead.
Good morning, Dr. Courtney.
Hi.
I have a question on the chip for the pain. My daughter has the titanium rods in her back, and she does still suffer with a lot of pain. Would this, could you use the chip with the titanium rods?
Go ahead, doctor.
That's great, and that's an area that we have not covered up to this point. These products have no contraindications, meaning that there is nothing that or nobody we cannot use the product on. So the titanium rods, it's not going to have any effect on the titanium rods at all. And it's also safe. I mean, we start thinking about people with pacemaker defibrillators, people who have stents or pain pumps. It's perfectly safe for everybody to use, because here's why. That what's programmed into the intrinsic formulas that are programmed onto that hologram are communicating with the cells of the body to bring the cells back where they want to naturally be, okay, and pretty close in frequency to where they already are. So we said this the other day, if a radio station, if you could tune it in to 92.9, the old radios where if you had it on a 92.8, you could kind of still hear the radio, but it would be a little scratchy. That's the same thing here, is that it tunes it into exactly where it needs to be. So we're not changing or altering anything that's going to have any effect on other things that are in your body, other medications you're on, or any conditions you have.
Great answer to that question, ma'am. I got a green light to go ahead. It could give your daughter some great relief and pay no consequence to it in terms of any side effect. There are no side effects with the use of these chips, which is a wonderful thing to be able to tell anybody.
That is good news. And
absolutely.
I thank you for your information.
You're so welcome.
You're welcome. Bye.
You're with Dr. David Potts, 412-825-6262. If you got any questions on these chips, go right ahead. Feel free to give us a call on the remaining portion of the show, 412-825-6262. I was looking at some of the information, Dr. Potts, and this phrase got my attention when I first flipped through it. I'm going to let you handle what's meant by it. It goes like this. There's a line in the literature. Our holographic chips use a combination of, and here's what grabbed me, of tones, colors, signs, symbols, and essences or aroma that when placed along sensitive acupuncture point meridians affect positive health responses. I didn't realize when you said that these chips, which could record the Titanic movie 52 times over, actually has programmed in it those items to lend to it a better ability to assist in the three problems we're talking about: tones, colors, signs, symbols, essences, aromas. That's actually programmable into a chip, Doc? That's a question. Hey, Dr. Potts. Oh, do we lose Dr. Potts? All right, Stacia, go ahead. Use the number that I gave you to find him again. Maybe the question was too lengthy. He just gave up on me. 412-825-6262. Why don't we do this even with a short bit of time to go? Let's take a short break. Let's see if we can locate our Dr. Potts, and I'll try to make my question a little more rapid so that we don't lose him this time. Take a short break. Be right back with Dr. Potts.
Want to help your family eat healthier? Instead of learning to disguise tofu in wondrous ways, how about some real nutritional power? If your family has the typical American palate for
Hello there.
pizza and burgers, giving
Yes.
your family the
Is that you, Dr. Potts?
nutrition is a
It
struggle.
is I.
I don't know why I lost you, but I lost you for just a moment. I'm glad you're back.
All natural, whole fruit
Were you driving at the time?
fresh fruits,
Maybe you hit
No,
a...
no, sit still. We just needed an intermission.
Okay. Very good. We just took a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll see if anybody else is on the line. We've got about 7 or 8 minutes left to go. There may be a question or two. If not, I got some questions to fill the remaining amount. Okay?
Very good.
Okay.
Family will sing the praises of Fruit of the Spirit. Give your loved ones the blessing of good nutrition. Call 1-800-442-3793 for a special promotional offer. Fruit of the Spirit, a blessing for your good health. That's 1-800-442-3793. Call them now. 1-800-442-3793.
Hey, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again to AM Impact on Your Health. We're here in the gun lap of our Friday Get 'em Up a Town, Out of Town version of the show, talking about and launching this new product line from a company called Ciara. That's C-I-E-A-U-R-A. Website www.drcourtney, spelled with a D-R, drcourtney.ciara, spelled C-I-E-A-U-R-A.com. And with an expert on the use of these holographic chips, Dr. David Potts, who was with us on Wednesday and was nice enough to consent to come back with us on Friday. We've located him again. He's here with us. Right, Dr. Potts? You're out there?
I'm still with you.
Still with us.
Or back with you again.
Back with me again. For those of you that may have a question and remaining portions of the show, 412-825-6262. That's 412-825-6262. Now, I was asking a question. I thought maybe you got a little bored with my question. I was reading where these holographic chips use a combination of, and here was the quote, tones, colors, signs, symbols, essences, and aromas that when placed along sensitive acupuncture meridian points direct positive health responses. Now, that's a mouthful, but it certainly conjures up imagery of these chips really do contain a lot of information when it comes to essences and aromas and things like that. They are actually programmable into these chips, Doc?
They are. They actually are. You know, what we do know is that everything around us, everything light-wise, everything smell, sound, has effects on us, has effects on the cells of our body. So what they're able to do is they're able to capture those, and they're written into a formula, and that formula is programmed into these holograms. So all of these holograms have up to 250 formulas programmed into it. Now, I mean, this is where it seems to get a little strange, but everything out there in this world has a formula that can be written to it to communicate with the cells of the body, and there's communication that goes on at that kind of level. So programmed on those chips are, you know, like you said, I mean aromas, things for vibrations and frequencies, and so that's programmed in that communicates with the cells of the body.
Just a fantastic way to put it. The other day you were talking to us saying about how anything vibrates at a certain frequency, and so if that be known as to what the frequency is, you can simulate that item by knowing the frequency. And so it's all possible through the use of these holographic chips. An amazing ability to do good, do potential harm if you did program them wrong, but to do good by the ability to place these along these meridians. We do have another questioner. Come on in the store. You're with Dr. Potts. Go right ahead with your question.
Hi, I had a question for Dr. Potts. I wanted to know how these treatments, how do you pronounce it?
Holographic chips. Yeah.
How they differ from the Rife machine.
All right. Dr. Potts, any comments on the Rife? You familiar with the Rife machine, Doctor?
I'm not. I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, it's one of the earlier forays into the use of frequencies. Okay, the Rife machine. My God, Dr. Rife's been dead and gone for a long time ago. But I don't. Other than the use of frequencies, which is what the Rife machine did, I'm not so sure I can even answer your question. And the doctor appears not to even know about the Rife. So
that's incredible, because that's the first machine that ever used that methodology of frequency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm familiar with. I know that it was Dr. Rife's research, okay, that ultimately led to the holographic chips. So what they've been able to do is take a lot of the information he has, a lot of the information that Dr. Rife did in research, and they were able to put it into a method that is much easier, okay, to use, and a method that's dialed in. The fact that they're able to put it onto the hologram, now that's where they get the 21st delivery system. So
okay, but you have heard of them then.
I've heard of Rife. I'm not familiar with his machine, but I know that Rife is a lot of the information that CR was able to take into the research and develop lab is based upon the research that Rife had done.
All right, fair enough. Look, we got bongos in the background. I want to thank the caller. We know her very well. I want to thank you, Dr. Potts. Good luck on your trip to Baton Rouge. Hope to be talking to you in the very near future. Bring you back too, hopefully, on our show. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday. You enjoy the Get 'em Up Out of Town component of what Friday brings. We'll see you on Monday, where we're back again with Doug Inglesby. Until then, this is Dr. Dennis Courtney with Dr. David Potts saying so long for AM Impact on your health.
AM Impact on Your Health is sponsored by Dennis J. Courtney, MD, Director of the Courtney Medical Group. Located